everybody to our Lambda Pi Eta New Xi, that's the name of our chapter, induction ceremony. I'd like to begin, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to our chapter officers and our special guests. And our special guests today are some of the communication faculty. So we have, Ellie Pye, it's been a long day. Ellie Pye, who's back there videotaping this event for us. Who you haven't met, you probably know about. Professor Sarah Allen. And Professor Todd Wimmer, who is also here to take pictures. Our chapter officers for this year, and could you please stand when I introduce you, are Jessica Tiernan, she's our president. Jessica Baker, our Vice President. Lauren Sleeper, our Secretary. And Liz Griffin, our Treasurer.
The name Lambda Pi Eta, represented by the Greek letters L, Lambda, P, Pi, and H, Eta, symbolizing what Aristotle described in his book Rhetoric as the three modes of persuasion: logos, meaning logic; pathos, relating to emotion; and ethos, defined as character, credibility, and ethics. The candle lighting ceremony will describe each of these Greek letters. Lambda Pi Eta was initiated by the students of the Department of Communication at the University of Arkansas and was then endorsed by the faculty and founder, Dr. Stephen A. Smith, in 1985. The Speech Communication Association established Lambda Pi Eta as an affiliate organization and the official National Communication Honor Society for undergraduates in 1994. In February 1996, Lambda Pi Eta was inducted in the Association of College Honor Societies. There are currently 250 chapters worldwide.
The first mode of persuasion is logos, or logic. In all aspects of scholarship and its application to one's life, logic plays a major role in deliberations and problem solving. Pathos, or emotional appeal, the second symbol of our organization's title, encompasses a driving force that makes an organization vital and effective. The last mode of persuasion is ethos, or character, credibility, and ethics. Aristotle sees character and credibility as a primary means of affecting change in society and in one's life. Thus, it is appropriate that ethos is a major symbol of Lambda Pi Eta.
The purposes of the Honor Society, according to our Constitution, are 1. To recognize, foster, and reward outstanding scholastic achievement. 2. To stimulate interest in the field of communication. 3. To provide an opportunity to discuss and exchange ideas in the field of communications. 4. To promote and encourage professional development among communication majors. 5. To establish and maintain close relationships and mutual understanding between faculty and students. And 6. To explore options for further graduate education.
The membership in Lambda Pi Eta is composed of undergraduate students who have declared an interest in the field of communication and have achieved a high level of academic excellence. To be eligible for membership, students must have completed 60 semester hours in undergraduate credit courses, have a cumulative grade point average of at least a 3.0, have completed the equivalent of 12 semester hours in courses in communication, have a grade point average of at least a 3.25 in these courses, be in the upper 35% of their graduating class, and be currently enrolled as a full-time student in good standing with their institution. present the new members of the Communication Honor Society.
Good evening. My name is Kyle Ruffin, and to be honest, I really never knew what I wanted to do even at a really young age. When it came time for me to decide on a major, communications was one of the most attractive fields to me, partially because there was no math. It was not until I came to Endicott was when I found my real passion in radio. My freshman year, I was one of the few students who had a successful radio show on campus. And when it came time for me to find my very first internship, I decided to shoot big. My very first internship was with the Maddie in the Morning show on KISS 108, one of the most popular radio shows in the Boston area. To be working for the people I listened to as a kid growing up was probably one of the most wonderful things I got to experience. I would have never gotten the chance, though, to experience this without Endicott's internship program. It was only 3 weeks after leaving that internship when I was contacted by them for a job offer to work for Clear Channel Communications and to get to work on the station as a paid employee. I have now been working there for a year and have learned so much. I would have not gotten this amazing opportunity without the help of Endicott and the communication department. I am now a junior in college, have a job in one of the most popular radio stations in Boston, and now I am joining Lambda Pi Eta. These things have only secured my thoughts on choosing the right major and the right career choice. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Samara Dumar. At a young age, I loved nature photography. I would sit around my house reading stack after stack of National Geographic magazines and wishing that I could be in those places for real. As I got older, my love for nature photography turned into a love for all types of photography, and more recently, into a passion for photojournalism. It was not until I came to Endicott College that I realized my dream of seeing all those places could come true. From the moment I became a student here, I knew I wanted to take photography courses, but I felt something was missing. When I thought back to my childhood and all the time spent admiring National Geographic, I thought about the people who made those photographs. Those people are journalists. I decided to major in communication with a concentration in journalism. I have loved every journalism class so far, and I'm confident that I made the right choice. With a minor in photography almost complete, I know that with Endicott, I can achieve my dream of being a happy and successful photojournalist. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lauren. So they say parents know best. And as much as us teenagers try and reject that fact, I now admit that there's some truth to it. While trying to figure out what I wanted to major in, my dad shared one simple piece of advice with me. He said, go into something that you enjoy, something that you can be passionate about, and something that makes you feel confident. After taking his advice and thinking about it for a while, it made my choice that much easier. I have never found myself at a loss for words or one to hold back in a social setting. And the fact that I was horrible at math, yet excelled in English, couldn't have pointed me in a clearer direction. You'll see a trend with this as we go. Nonetheless, I suppose I have always been drawn to communication from the get-go. Now, 4 years into my studies, my main area of interest have been in public relations and integrated marketing, specifically for nonprofits and small businesses. To me, there is nothing more rewarding than creating relationships and interacting with the public for a greater common good. So I suppose I now have my dad to thank for guiding me in the direction to something that I enjoy, something that I am passionate about, and something that makes me feel confident.
My name is Leah Callagher. I come from a very sports-focused family. To give you an idea of how sports-focused, it is important to note that my first word was touchdown. Watching sports has always served as an opportunity for family bonding in my household. And it wasn't long before I knew combining my love for writing and passion for sports could lead me to a career in sports media. I was immediately drawn to Endicott when looking at colleges when I discovered their internship program and saw current students listed as having interned at places like the New England Sports Network and ESPN. I loved how Endicott allowed me to dive into my major right from the start. By the end of my freshman year, I had taken several communications classes and loved every one of them. Not only was I given the chance to become a better writer, but I also learned how to use different technologies that have become increasingly essential to journalists in this digital age. While there were times I worried that working in sports media may not exactly be what I thought it was, I the sports scene, I covered everything from Division I college basketball to high school swimming. I went on location with reporters every day, covering games, press conferences, and charity events. I was also able to do on-camera work and even conducted all of the post-game interviews at the last college basketball game I attended. I also learned how to edit film and left with a DVD containing some of the work I had completed. After the 3 weeks were up, I had never been more positive about what I wanted to do. I currently have my sights set on interning at either the NFL Network or NBC Sports next fall, which would allow me to spend the semester in New York City. I have already begun working with my internship advisor to get these things going. I am so grateful that Endicott has provided me with these opportunities and could not be more excited for my future.
Hello, my name is Sarah Robinson and I am a junior here at Endicott. One of the main reasons that I decided to come here was for the communication major. But I didn't start out here. 3 years ago, I entered a different liberal arts college, undecided on a major. I figured I'd be able to settle on something after taking a wide variety of classes in a number of different disciplines. But by the end of freshman year, I was still unclear as to what I wanted to do, though I contemplated pursuing geology because of all the classes, those have been of most interest to me. It made sense. I had always assumed that I would major in one of the sciences, as it had been my strong suit in high school. A few weeks into summer, I started to question my decision. Though I enjoyed the classes, I wasn't sure that I wanted to pursue geology as a career. I decided to take the year off from school and reevaluate my options. When I was younger, I always had a keen eye for good TV commercials. My recollection is that I was able to distinguish the difference between a good ad and a bad one. I also had the strange ability to make up jingles. "You're going into advertising," my parents would often remark. As I got older, event or talent booking was added to the interest in advertising, but I never thought it was something one would study in college. It may have been these childhood memories that sparked my interest in the field of communication. Although transferring was not an option I considered, even after I decided to take the year off, I began to give it some serious thought after several months working in sales and promotions for the Department of Athletics at Dartmouth College. Since my previous school didn't offer a communication major, I set out to endure round 2 of the college search process. After looking at a number of schools in and around Boston and Rhode Island, Endicott, with its selection of communication classes and unique internship opportunities, was the only school to which I applied. I'm 110% confident that I made the right choice to transfer. Since starting here last fall, I have never once questioned my decision. I have been completely engaged in all of my classes, taken great interest in them, and am exponentially happier academically. I was lucky that I was able to dive right into the major and take mostly communication classes upon transferring, as most of my transfer credits fulfilled my general education requirements. This past summer, I was given the opportunity to create and organize a music series to take place on campus this fall semester. I've been having so much fun with every aspect, listening to music, contacting the talent, negotiating and booking the dates, and I might like to do something similar to that in the future. After taking valuable, worthwhile classes in my impending semester-long internship, which I hope to intern at either a sports or music venue in Boston, I feel confident that my experiences at Endicott will help me to be successful in the future. And I can't let this opportunity go by without giving a shameless plug to the Laura Stage Music Series every Thursday night in the Lodge. Please accept this as my personal invitation to each and every one of you here this evening, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Casey Arnold. My passion for communication, especially the creative side, began when I was just 10 years old. As a girl with a huge imagination, I started to bore with bossing my little sister around playing house. I found my new creative outlet on the old desktop computer my parents put in my room. The Paint program allowed me to create my own fantasies exactly the way I wanted them. In high school, I learned about graphic design and was delighted with how easy it was for me to translate my visions onto the computer. However, I still loved to write and couldn't decide whether to pursue my love for English or graphic art in college. Then I discovered Endicott College, and besides the ocean, of course, it allowed me to study both of my passions. As an advertising concentration in the communication program, as well as a graphic design minor, I'm extremely happy and couldn't picture myself doing anything else anywhere else. My communication professors and peers have helped me visualize my dream of becoming a creative director, and I'm confident now I can achieve my goals in anything I put my mind to.
I'm Tim Corcoran, and when I was a youngin', my aunt took me to work with her. She worked as the vice president of the luxury box section of the Guardian. And when she started working there in 1970-ish, she was a ticket taker, so she worked her way all the way up. And when she would take me into work with her, she would go from luxury box to luxury box during the games or the events. And she would just talk to everybody in the box, make sure that they were having fun, they weren't having any issues. Didn't matter whether they were the president of Coca-Cola or just some schmuck that got an upgrade. She would talk to them all just the same. And the way that she could talk to people and make them comfortable really stuck out to me. And I decided early on that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted a job kind of like hers. And so I asked her, how did you do it? She told me that the one thing that I needed to understand was that absolutely everybody just wants to be heard. And if you can talk to somebody and make them feel like all you want to do is just listen to them and fix their problems, they'll be much more comfortable with you. And she told me that when I went to college, that I should study communication because this will help me do that. So I did. Obviously, I came to Endicott and I'm in communication. And because of my aunt, Mary Clivio, I'm being inducted into Lambda Pi Eta, and I'm having a pretty good school career, so I just wanted to say thank you to her.
Hi again. My name is Jessica Tiernan, and I'm a junior communications major, business minor with a concentration in media studies. Congratulations to everyone who's here being honored tonight. Let me start by saying that I'm not only thankful to be a part of the Communication Honor Society, but of the Endicott community as a whole. I did not start my education at Endicott first semester freshman year like many of my peers. I began my college career at another institution in Boston. While the city was fun, I realized that I did not feel a sense of belonging there. To make a long story short, after a rough semester, I transferred to Endicott. On my first day of transfer orientation, I met with Dean Hellerstein. We went over the courses I would be taking, including writing for the media, advertising, and public relations. Each of these courses seemed so interesting to me. I then spent time meeting my classmates and realized that I was beginning to feel much more at ease than I ever had before. It was only after a few weeks at Endicott that I realized I had made the right choice regarding my major and secondary education. After studying the field of education for nearly 3 years, I have decided that I would like to work for a small advertising agency or public relations firm. I hope to make it back to Boston and intern in the city for the fall of my senior year. I'd like to thank all my professors, my advisor, my parents, and friends for supporting me inside and outside of the classroom during my time at Endicott. Thank you all and have a great evening.
Hi, I'm Nicole Lasher. Ever since I can remember, I've been interested in two things, writing and asking questions. So I figured what better field to study than journalism where I could combine the two. Writing has always been the one thing I have felt most comfortable doing, and what I have envisioned myself doing my entire life. Of course, when I was younger, I thought my only option was to write the next Harry Potter. I had no idea what journalism really was, or that I could use my writing skills in so many other areas, whether it was blogs, press releases, or social media. It wasn't until I came to Endicott that I realized the field of communication is where I belong. My professors have taught me how important it is to approach people, talk to people that I don't know, and build connections. My internships have allowed me to practice that. I spent my first internship reporting for the Lowell Sun newspaper, and I have to say, I've come a long way since my nervous phone interviews. But as I saw my work appear in the newspaper, knowing that people were actually reading my work, my career goals started to become more of a reality. As my education has evolved, I'm realizing that it's not just journalism that I'm interested in, but connecting people in general. I spent my last winter break in summer at a PR and marketing firm in Boston, managing their social media efforts, blogging, writing pitches and press releases, and I'm finally starting to see that my future career within the city is within my reach. My accomplishments have been a result of my hard work, but I owe much of it to Endicott, to the faculty and staff, and to my peers. If it wasn't for the School of Communication and the drive that it has given me, I wouldn't have had the chance to have already created so many career contacts and to have grown both professionally and as a person. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I've never been a math person. I never understood how people could enjoy the subject. Before college, people would always ask me what I wanted to was not math. I was never the little girl who knew exactly what I wanted to be when I grew up, besides the stereotypical answer of being a princess or a superstar. I've always been a creative person who would much rather create a poster to present my work than simply read off of an index card. When it came time to decide what I wanted to major in, communications seemed like the right fit for me. It would provide me with an education that I was interested in while still letting me use my creativity. I chose advertising as my concentration, which seemed like a good start to see if this was what I wanted to pursue a career in. Once the school year was underway, I realized that I was actually interested in what my classes were teaching me. Unlike calculus, a subject that I was never interested in, I felt like the information I was learning in my communications classes was essential and would benefit me in the future. In one of my classes I'm taking this semester, I'm working on creating an advertising campaign for an actual client. Along with other group members, I was able to visit our client and talk to them about what they would like us to do for their company. Our client even told us that our advertisements we create would actually be used. This is going to provide hands-on experience even before I graduate. I feel comfortable in my communications classes. I'm interested in the subjects we talk about, and the environment of a communications classroom is very open and conversational. I'm able to thrive in my classes and gain experience that will benefit me even after I graduate. I'm proud to say that I'm a communications major, and I will continue to work hard towards a career in advertising.
When I first began college, I was a business major. I quickly realized that was not the route for me, mainly because it required a lot of math. I have always been fascinated in the ways humans interact and connect to each other, whether it be through face-to-face conversations, letters, phone calls, email, Facebook, Skype. Communications is constantly evolving, and that engages me. The square root of 4 will always be 16, and George Washington will always be our first president, but the way we communicate will always be changing. I decided to concentrate in media studies because I wanted to experience the wide variety of classes Endicott offers, from shooting my own movie, to writing my own press release, learning about Al Jazeera and the Arab Spring, producing my own podcast. All these classes have given me the confidence I need to be successful in my internships. My first internship was at a small public relations firm in Marblehead. It was a fascinating experience, working on press releases, putting together media kits. This led me to my next internship, interning for a sustainable event catering and design company. While interning there, I was exposed to an extensive variety of events. Currently, I am interning full-time at Harvard Law School in the events department. Working for such a large and prestigious organization has been a fascinating experience. I am so grateful for the opportunities Endicott has provided for me. I look forward to whatever is in my future after graduating Endicott. As Steve Jobs once said, I want to put a ding in the universe. I feel confident in doing exactly that. I want to thank my family and professors for inspiring me every day to pursue what I love.
Hi, my name is Myra Dettelbach, and I'm a junior in digital film from Cary, North Carolina. I chose to attend Endicott College after I realized the importance of a 4-year degree over just attending a film school in LA. My family moved from Southern California, where I was born, to educate my 3 brothers and I in the Northeast when I was in 3rd grade, due to some serious overcrowding that was occurring in the best public school system in San Diego. I'm a California girl and hated to leave where I called home. Seasons changed and the Northeast grew on me. The memories of reenacting films and going with my best friend and digging through our mother's closet so we could come to the closest costume made me realize my true passion in life. I have this ability, after seeing a movie, to not only remember the actors' names, but to often to recite their lines. Not just one movie, but the hundreds that I watched just for fun. And the older ones, the better. I once wrote to Steven Spielberg as a child, I was 10, to explain to him that I was not happy with his casting choice and why he never created an E.T. 2. I chose Endicott College because of its digital film degree offering, school size and location. The professors here take care a great deal not only about the learning, but about the student and want to be your friend. It's meant the world to me, and I never feel that I've experienced this at a larger college or university. In just my 2 years here, I've been encouraged to go beyond any set limits and reach for the stars. I'm raising the bar and will one day look back and be happy with my choice in Endicott College, as I'm often asked what part of the map did I get lost on. And I could not be here without my parents, and thank them for flying here today.
Good evening. My name is Ellen Fleming, and I'm currently a junior majoring in Internet Studies. About 16 years ago, when I was 4 years old, my parents took me shopping for my first diary. I had to have one with a lock on it for all my cool 4-year-old secrets and an awesome cover so I also look cool. I had one, when I bought one, it had flames, it had hearts on it, and it had a shiny purple background. I believe this was the moment when I started to develop my love for my writing and creativity. When I was 18 years old and applying for colleges, I still had no idea what I wanted to focus in. And apparently, like most communication majors, I also was not good at math, and science was just completely out of the question. What I did know was what I enjoyed to do. I loved to express myself creatively. I loved to learn about other people, and I loved to keep up with trends. I knew to be happy later in life, I had to pick something that I was passionate about now. Communications was just simply what I was meant to do. Initially, my concentration was media studies. I thought this was the best way to enter the field, so I could learn about all different forms, and then I could choose what I liked from it. Sophomore year, Endicott introduced a new major, Internet Studies. I knew I had to jump on this opportunity. My main concern of college isn't the work I'm doing now, it's the work I'll be doing once I graduate. I know way too many people who are currently unable to find jobs within their education field. What I also knew was that a large amount of companies were using social media analysts and internet experts to keep up with their online popularity. By committing to internet studies, I hope to set myself apart from other applicants applying for the same exact job. I am very lucky that Endicott has given me this opportunity to study such an innovative field of communications. I know wherever I end up in life, in whatever capacity, that I will be able to go beyond what people have expected of me, and that is due to what has been offered to me at Endicott College. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lauren Hucci, and I am a junior here at Endicott concentrating in media studies. I'm going to be perfectly honest with all of you. When I was a young child dreaming of my someday profession, I did not envision an account manager at an advertising agency or a public relations professional at a large company. I was daydreaming of becoming a ballerina and pirouetting my way through life with nothing but a tutu and some pointe shoes. However, I have always known myself as someone who thoroughly enjoys interacting with people. I love carrying conversations and talking with others, and was never the shy girl in the back of the crowd. In high school especially, I thrived off of making people laugh, and I've always commended myself on being able to lighten situations with a sense of humor. My comfort level with people and my need to be socially engaged with others is what led me to realize that I do not belong behind a desk crunching numbers or mixing potions in a chemistry lab. So although I had arrived at the conclusion that communications was the major for me, I was unsure where I belonged within the major. I didn't have a clear vision of what I wanted to do after college, so I decided to go into media studies. I liked the idea that it was kind of an umbrella to communication, with all the areas of communication underneath it. I have had the opportunity to experience advertising, public relations, digital film, journalism, writing for different media platforms, and the list goes on. It has been the perfect concentration for me and has helped me narrow down what it is that I really want to do. I see myself in 2 years graduated and putting my degree to good use. I currently am interested in becoming an account manager for an advertising agency or working in marketing and public relations. If there is one thing I have learned so far in communications, it is that I have found without a doubt the perfect major for me, and my passion for the material that I am learning is what has led me here speaking before all of you. To end, I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say thank you so much for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day.
Hello, my name is Jessica Baker, and I'm a marketing communication major, and I have decided to actually struggle with my mathematics issues just like my peers, and I'm a minor in computer science, which I've overcome, of course. But while this is how I will finish out my career at Endicott, I have decided it's not how I began. So 3 years ago, I decided to come to Endicott as a business major, and I finished my first semester and continued into my internship at Duffy & Shanley, a marketing, public relations, and advertising agency in Providence, Rhode Island. Throughout this internship, I gained great insight into the business and client relations aspect of marketing, but all the while, I sat on the side with heels, ties, and graphs, and charts, secretly envying those on the creative side of the agency. Those on the creative side were a group of 10 men and women with quirky haircuts, Hawaiian shirts, and mismatched sneakers, all surrounding a child-sized table, collaborating and designing. This group always played music, whether it was the Ocean Waves, a rock band I'd never heard of, or a pop station where I knew all the words. It flowed through the office, along with their constant shouting of ideas. I craved that kind of collaboration. This team was able to create a comfortable place to work together and share ideas. It wasn't just charts, graphs, and dollar signs. There was writing, designing, and big, unique ideas. I realized then and there that I was at the right internship, at the right location, but on the wrong side of the agency. Now, as a communication marketing major, I have spent hours designing campaigns, reworking body copy, taglines, and images. I will usually be working on 3 or 4 different directions for a campaign until finally, sometimes just a few hours before the deadline, that big idea hits. So, with frustrated, exhausted determination, and likely a crazy hairdo, I rework all of it. But with all the retweaking, redesigning, and rewriting, the satisfaction of presenting that work to the client is unmatchable. So thank you to Professor Allen for the multiple campaigns I have spent hours of my life critiquing and presenting. Through all of those late nights and early mornings, fighting my conscience for the right idea, I fell in love with major communication.
My name is Amanda, and I am concentrating on advertising here at Endicott. I first became interested in studying advertising when I was a junior in high school, after my English teacher showed the class a video about how essential advertising is in everyday life. The video was fun and modern, and I went home that day and looked more into advertising as a major. I found that it combined English and writing with art, and all of these topics are my strong points in high school. Upon learning more about the major of communication in the more broad aspect, I learned that this field is always growing the more that technology grows. Because of this, I feel very comfortable with the major I chose and even more confident about being able to find a career in this field upon graduating. After 2 years at Endicott studying advertising and moving on into my 3rd year, I've developed an incredible respect for advertising. There is a skill involved in this form of art, and one must have the talent to do well in it. I do not know where I will be in 5 years, but my dream is to work with advertising either in the fashion or retail industry. I hope to be able to contribute my knowledge of the field while working with others who possess their own talents and insight in advertising. I know that I wanted to be happy with whatever major I chose, and as we approach graduation each day that goes by, I'm realizing that I will be happy in whichever career that I choose to.
Hi, I'm Melissa. Freshman year of high school, I thought I had my future all figured out. I was going to go to a Connecticut college and study interior design, because I actually did like math. But looking at where I am now, my 14-year-old self could not have been more wrong. After plenty of research and written assignments about my future career path, my junior year of high school changed my perspective completely. The Career Center gave me a test that said I should consider marketing and advertising. How odd, considering I had chosen to cover an entire wall of my room with ads. A week later, Endicott College appeared in my top schools for yet another test in the Career Center. A school outside of Connecticut? How? And of all places, Massachusetts? My mom made me attend the meeting my high school had with the Endicott representatives because a co-worker of hers had a daughter who attended and loved Endicott. Being the obedient child, I complied and went to hear these 2 men speak. By the end of the meeting, I had surprisingly fallen in love with everything they had to say. I knew I had to visit the school as soon as possible, and so off I went with my mom. I loved everything about Endicott College and applied immediately. However, applying meant deciding on a major, interior design or communications with a focus in advertising. Luckily, I made the only choice, the right choice. Deciding to be in the School of Communications at Endicott College was the best decision I could have made. I'm surrounded by teachers who inspire me to carry out my strengths in this field with every assignment, project, club, and internship. I look forward to the next 2 years in my semester-long internship as well. I hope to one day reach my final goal of advertising for M&M candies. For right now, however, I look forward to continuing down this path in the field I have fallen in love with, more than I think I will ever fall for my future husband, but don't hold me back.
Hi, my name is Emma Marcotte. When I was a senior in high school, I thought I knew my career path for the rest of my life. I was sure I wanted to do something business-related after taking marketing, statistics, and economic classes and getting good grades in all of them. I had a dream that being a business major would lead to a job making a lot of money. A job making a lot of money would mean that I would love my job. But after freshman year, I found out that being a business major didn't suit me and that my dream was really an illusion. I didn't enjoy my classes and I was terrible at math. I realized being a business major just wasn't for me. Although I was getting fairly good grades, what sense did it make to major in something I didn't enjoy? After a long talk with my dad, I decided to switch my major from business to communication before starting the first semester of my sophomore year. I knew I made the right choice when I took one of my first communication classes called Advertising Fundamentals. We had to create a campaign for a product that we had to make up. Working on print, TV, and radio ads for my product allowed me to be creative. I loved that I got to think of new ideas and be able to use graphic design to form all my thoughts into an original piece. Thinking of new possibilities and reworking ideas was something I truly enjoyed, and I realized I made the right choice in changing my major. When I graduate, I am confident that I will be in a great position to get a job in marketing communications and also be able to find a job that I will enjoy. I've already got an internship at a marketing PR firm in a nonprofit organization. It is my dream goal to get my semester internship at Hill Holiday in Boston. My study of communication at Endicott has allowed me to accomplish a good deal so far and will allow me to accomplish a lot more in my future.
My name is Liz Griffin, and when I was applying to colleges, I honestly had no idea what I wanted to major in. My interests were diverse and scattered through several different fields. In the end, I decided to stick with my growing interest in journalism, public relations, and new media. Thus, I came to Endicott as a communication major, concentrating in media studies. Through the internship program and the support of my communication professors here at Endicott, I quickly realized that I was exactly where I needed to be to explore the many faces of the communication field. My first internship at a local news-based radio station combined both my interest in journalism and my interest in radio. For my second internship, I worked for a small advertising agency. And this past summer, because of my previous internships, I landed a job at the U.S. Communications Department of a multinational biopharmaceutical company. I know that becoming a member of Lambda Pi Eta will help me continue to learn and grow as a communications scholar and professional. Thank you.
And we would also like to acknowledge those who could not be here tonight: Lizetta Solaric, Bobby Durbin, and Catherine Steve.
So there is a common theme, isn't there? Almost everybody here, not Jess, but we need math.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not always been the case. Last year we had actually a member of Lambda Pi Eta who was a math minor. Steve Chamberlain, if you remember him. As newly inducted members of Lambda Pi Eta, do you accept the challenge to maintain the high academic and leadership standards set forth by the organization and to serve as examples for the achievement of excellence in the field of communication? And do you promise to work toward the achievement of the purpose and goals as set down by the National Organization of Lambda Pi Eta? If so, please answer, I do.